Hi, I'm Terry Goetz, Nazareth College, class of 1996. I had 4 years of an awful good time in Nazareth, playing lacrosse. Playing with the boys here, learning here. Coach Nelson, I think of Coach Nelson a lot when I come back here because he was so instrumental in my success.
Today, Terry Goetz is a Group Vice President for Oracle Corporation.
I'm the executive that represents Oracle Corporation nationally for the southeast part of the United States as well as the central part of the United States. I'm meeting with CEOs and CFOs and CIOs on a regular basis. That team environment, I think, I can certainly tell you that I want my kids to be part of that team environment. To be a good teammate is obviously going to help you. A good coachable kid is an employable kid. And, I don't just hear that from a tagline, I see that from what I've been able to do. I always wanted to impress my coaches, and now I always want to, I want to run through walls for my bosses.
Terry says the best thing to happen to him at Naz was meeting his wife, Amy. They have 3 boys now, Brady, Cole, and Griffin, who all play sports, even in the house during the winter.
If they can throw the ball and not hit the stove, under the light and over the table and not hit the stove, then they're probably going to be able to throw the ball in open space on the field. So I was able to convince Amy that was a good idea. My in-laws don't like it too much, but...
Recruited by Rob Randall, an assistant to head coach Scott Nelson at the time, Terry came to Naz from Rome, New York. But he didn't get off to a great start.
After the fall season, my first season, Coach called me and Coach Nelson. I sat next to him at his desk and he said, "How'd you think the fall went?" I said, "I thought I went good, Coach. I got a little bit better." And I was telling a little bit of hyperbole. And he said, "Well, we didn't think it went that great." He says, "We think you got a chip on your shoulder, and we think you got to get better. Your skills aren't there. And if you don't get better, we're not sure we're going to keep you this spring." Scott really, broke you down to build you back up. And, to this day, I owe him a ton.
The tough talk turned to hard work, and by his sophomore season, he was a starter. By junior year, the Golden Flyers returned to the national championship game, but lost.
But it allowed us to realize where the rim was, and we came back that next year with, we knew where we had to go, and we got there.
The next season, 1996, Terry's senior year, the Golden Flyers went unbeaten and returned to the NCAA Finals. Naz and Washington, Maryland finished regulation tied. Terry would take the crucial face-off to start overtime.
I watched my father walk over to behind the goal. I had been getting my tail kicked pretty good in the second half by the face-off guy. And, my thing was I took a lot of fast breaks and throughout my career. And, he obviously had enough, faith in me, or hope, however it was, but he walked down as if I was, going to win that face-off.
With his dad confidently watching, Terry won the face-off. Tom Campbell, who went to high school with Terry, scooped it up.
He came from the far wing, picked up the face-off, and fed it down to the attackman. I broke down the middle. The attackman, Neil Paulus, hit me right on the ear. I ended up, putting a shot in the right spot at the right time, and it was pretty neat. Saw my father jumping up and down, and I won't ever forget that memory.
A frustrated freshman had turned into an All-American and national championship hero.
It was a dream to win the overtime face-off, go down and score in an overtime game, national championship game. It just happened to come true.
It really, really was a wonderful run. It really was a wonderful run. The whole time I was here, it was a wonderful run. But that last 2 or 3 weeks of my lacrosse career was special.
Nazareth student athletes proudly support the following community organizations: the American Diabetes Association, the Ted Mullen Fund to Beat Sarcoma, and the Breast Cancer Coalition of Rochester. The Golden Flyers, excelling in competition, the classroom, and the community. The Nazareth Athletics Alumni Profile is presented courtesy of a friend of the Golden Flyers.